Hi everyone, I hope you guys are doing great and that you guys are keeping cool. If you're in California like I am, it is getting hot out here. As you can see, we're going to be hitting the hundreds, and then we should get a little bit cooler but still in the 90s. So yeah, I'm prepping the garden. I've done this since last month, but yesterday I trimmed off some bloom spikes, and I went ahead and pulled in some pots into the shade, or partial shade, because I mean, look at this Cameronia, this aloe. It's beautifully stressed, but it's been getting too much sun, so I pulled it in and just made sure that my pots are looking good. As you can see here, my bird bath, if you saw the video where I replanted this, it is doing great. This is the first time, yesterday was the first time that I really gave it a good watering. I had some cuttings in there, so I waited to do that for probably a week and a half, 2 weeks. So yeah, everything else is looking great. Again, all the plants that I think won't do good with the heat, I always put in a place where I know they're only going to get light, bright light, not full-blown sun, because it is pretty hot. Like, I'm out here and I'm sweating. It's 94 and it's not fun. And as you can see, my enclosure here, it's awesome. I love it. It doesn't look the prettiest, but it's like a little greenhouse, a corridor of shade for my plants, and it keeps them cool and healthy. So it is very important to just look at your plants, especially if they're in pots. You want to be able to place them in a place that's going to be cooler, because they will fry. So yeah, the bird bath is looking so beautiful. Again, I last week I doused everything with neem oil again. Oh, and look at this little buddy here. This is Thor. He's our community TNR cat. And I have a TNR program going, trap, neuter, release, for cats, so that they don't suffer, they don't reproduce. And what they do is they nip their ear. It's usually the left, but I guess they can nip the right one too. And that means that they're neutered, they're fixed, they're okay to feed. And you want to keep them in the community so that they eat the bugs and the mice, and just they benefit the community. Also, by keeping them in the community, they are territorial, so they don't allow other cats that aren't fixed to come into your community to reproduce. So it helps keep the population down and keep happy kitties in your community. So back to the garden here. You're seeing just a shot of the plants that I recently potted. These are the aloes, the Dorothea and the Starry Night, and they're doing great. I pulled the Dorothea into the shade a little bit more because I noticed that it was getting sun bleached. And you don't want that. It's usually when the temperature changes so drastically and they start getting kind of white. So you don't want that to happen. Again, aloes are finicky. They don't like too much sun, so they do great in partial morning sun. And yeah, all the plants are doing good, the pots. And I just have to monitor these very well. And I know that you feel like, oh, I want to water them a lot, but they will turn into mush. So keep them on your watering schedule. And here you're taking a peek into the corridor of shade. See that Cameronia is not stressed at all. It is super green. And as you will notice in a moment when I pan over, oh, here I'm getting a strip of sunlight. I'm going to have to fix that because the sun concentrates there and gets very hot. It's only during, I guess, these hours. It's not too hot, but 94 degrees is pretty hot for these plants. So yeah, I'm just going to put an extender there. But look at the sticks on fire. Totally green. Totally unstressed, because again, this corridor takes care of most of the UV rays, the harmful UV rays. So the plants are very happy. They're doing great. And oh my goodness, you can see back there that the baby Sahara Echeveria is grown. It is doing good. I have a big old party going on with aeoniums there, the lily pad aeonium and the Saharas, but I'm really not going to move anything, or I will if I notice that they're getting wilty or harmed. But here you're seeing the imbricata Echeveria, and you have to be a little bit careful when you douse them with the neem oil because they do have that film, that powdery film, and the oil can permeate and kind of dot them a bit. But I prefer them to be protected from the insects, so I do give them a good dousing of neem oil during this time before the superheat hits, because then you start getting all the critters. They're thirsty, they're hungry, and they want to bite on your beautiful succulents. So all those insects, keep them at bay, again with a mixture of water and I use the concentrate neem oil. And yeah, here you're looking at the bird bath again. And as you can see, I have been watering the sedum just in the front, but all the others I hadn't really watered them, and they're doing great. See here, this gets the shade perfect because everything is shaded at this hour, and just the sedum is in the sun. They like the sun, so yeah, as I pan over, you will see that everything is growing. The hedge on the other side, we have a community park, is overgrown, so we're going to be cutting that pretty soon. And look at the trees. My goodness, just to think that all these leaves are going to fall into my garden, it's mind-boggling, and I will deal with it. They trimmed them last year, and they just left the little stubs. And look at them this year. They just took off. But we're very grateful for the trees. They give off oxygen and beautiful shade. And just love the trees. It's okay if we deal with the leaves a little bit. But here you're seeing the aloes. Again, as I told you, I pulled them in because this one was getting some bleach. But they are doing great. And yeah, so just make sure that you go out there. I know it's hot, but just inspect your garden at least once a day. Go out there at dusk or before it gets hot and check out your garden. Make sure that nothing is suffering and looking bad, because if it is, maybe you'll have some time to rescue it and pull it into the shade and give it some TLC. And right now it's just a time to keep everything looking healthy and hydrated, and on a watering schedule, because again, you're very tempted to overwater in the summer because it is so hot. But that's something that you only have to do if it's been super hot outside and you feel the dirt and it's bone dry. You can go ahead and water it before schedule, but if not, just let it be. All right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. Welcome to all the new subscribers. I will talk to you guys later. Have a great day.